Welcome to Hello Main Street. I'm your host, Monica Sanchez. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode. And in order to help us to grow, and we would love it if you would support us by sharing this on your Instagram with Monica Sanchez, NIA, tag me in it. I would love to talk with you further. So today we're going to be talking about protecting your mental health. How does that work, right, as an entrepreneur? But first, let's do this. I want to give a shout out to Miss Susie Moran. Thank you so much for listening and being a supporter here of the podcast. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So let's talk about being an entrepreneur. There's many things that we need to consider when we're doing that, right? So we have to wear many hats, as you already know. And things can get overwhelming. You may have setbacks. You may have deadlines, and you're like, how do I juggle it all by myself, right? So one way, a good tip is one, keep notes. A lot of times we have things in our head and we're like, oh my gosh, I forgot I was supposed to get to that and then we didn't do it, right? So make sure that you write your notes down, or if you have it in, like, say, your phone, you keep electronic notes, then that's great too. But have it a way where you can actually take the information out of your head and actually put it down on paper. So that way you can rest easy, that you can go back to that when you're ready to do so. The other thing is it clears up that space in your mind, right, to help to relieve that pressure and that stress that we get when we are have multiple things happening. And then the other thing is have a free form. Have it to where you can jot stuff down. You know, what are you feeling today? How are you feeling anxious and overwhelmed? What happens to you when you have setbacks? How are you overcoming these? So it's a good way to kind of have a mental thought process and then just kind of think through those things of how you could better strategize or plan with that. The other thing is take time out for yourself. You can't just keep running and churning, grinding through, as some people would say. You really have to set it to the point to where it's like, I'm going to take time out for myself because it's going to help me with an overall picture of my business, right? So if you're a morning person, go for that morning walk. Go and enjoy the day. Take an hour out, reflect, or just tune out. Put in a positive mindset kind of a podcast. That would be great for you. So then as you're going through the day, then you're going to be ready to tackle the rest of your tasks that you have assigned for yourself. The other thing to keep in mind as well is you don't have to be perfect. All right. A lot of times people will say, "Oh, I can't do a video because I don't know what to say, or I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound." And you just got to dive in there. There's times when, yeah, you may not have it all together. And that's part of being human. So just know that you can do things without it being perfect, because nothing in the world is, right? And so keep that in mind. So otherwise, you may stifle yourself and your growth and not be able to move forward in your progress. The other thing to keep in mind, and this is a big one, so are you ready? Surround yourself with people who are like minded like you. Surround yourself with other entrepreneurs who are going to lift you up. There's oftentimes I talk with entrepreneurs and they're like, I try and talk to my spouse about my business. And our spouses are like, enough already. I don't want to know any more about your business. Just go about and get it done, right? That doesn't always help, right? Because you need some ideas. You may need to bounce stuff off of people. You may need something where we can fill up your cup so then you can go out and you can help others in that way, right? So surrounding yourself with those people is really important. And I keep reading it over and over again. So finding that tribe that's going to work for you is best. And if you don't have a tribe, come check me out. Come and talk to me. I would love to talk to you. I'd love to help you. And those are things that I enjoy doing, and just brainstorming and helping people get back on track is a wonderful feeling for myself. So I'd love to help you as well. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is breathing, right? I hear a lot of people talk about anxiety. They take anxiety medicine because they're overwhelmed or they're feeling pressure. And we can do something as simple as breathing techniques, taking that deep breath in and then exhaling out. And that really helps with that, what's it called? The sympathetic nervous system. That's that fight or flight, right? And we get that panic feeling, we get overwhelmed. Um, and so this will help to lower that pressure, lower the anxiety, help you to kind of reflect and come back to where you need to be. Okay. The other thing that I have on here and I forgot to mention is don't compare yourself to somebody else on social media. I feel like with our society, we only show the positivities of social media and like, hey, I'm doing fabulous. I'm doing awesome. Look at me. I'm rocking it in the world. And then you're like, gosh, they got it all figured out. How come I don't have it figured out yet? They're just not showing you the journey that it took to get to where they're at. It's like when we're born. You don't just come out immediately running. You have to learn. It takes time. We have to practice in order to grow to get to where we need to go. So just know that those are parts of the process, and don't compare yourself, especially on social media. Okay, so just keep that in mind. These are just some quick, simple tips I just wanted to share with you from one entrepreneur to another. Keep going, keep plugging along. I know that you got this. Surround yourself with some positive people. That is a great way to get started. And just remember, failure is a part of the journey, okay? It's not the end all be all. It just means we're going to pivot and we're going to move on to something else. All right. So if you need some support, I'm here for you. All right. Let's talk. Just like Susie, she told me all about how she listens to this podcast. Now her and I talk, and we actually see each other in different circles, and I love introducing her to new people. So that's all I have for you today. Have a wonderful and amazing day. And thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. And please share this again on your Instagram. I would really appreciate that. Tag me. I'm going to give you my tag, which is Monica Sanchez. Let's see if I can get to there. I'm going to show it here for you. Maybe. Tag me, okay? Monica Sanchez, NIA. I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to help you and see where I can help you to grow. Have a wonderful and amazing day.